Yes, my dear friend, welcome back to the channel. A very good morning to you wherever you are on the globe, on the continent of Africa, in Europe, in America, Canada, Australia, or right in Southeast Asia, Malaysia precisely. Ladies and gentlemen, it is a beautiful Tuesday morning here in Southeast Asia. Well, your breakfast is ready and I'm here to serve you as hot as it is. Dear friends, let's get started. This is Salon's Blog. Yes, on Thursday, we have Conference League to play. This coming Thursday, and right now as we speak, training is ongoing for another set of 11. Another set of 11 players to play in that game. You might not see any single player that play on Saturday against Leicester. You might not see any single one of them playing in next 2 days game at all. Because why? We have so much talent. Now this, we are so much, and that is why this morning I am starting on this note. Maresca is facing a challenging situation right now as we speak. If you were him, you face similar problem. Yes, you see the 3 players he introduced to the team against Leicester. There are 3 players Maresca introduced in the team against Leicester, and they all performed exceptionally well. They all performed exceptionally well. Yes. And they are now among the top 4 highest ranked players over the weekend. They are among the top 4 highest ranked players in the Premier League over the weekend. Enzo Fernandez, he introduced Enzo Fernandez back into the Premier League team and he scored 9.02. 9.02. Badiashile scored 7.89. Joao Felix scored 7.81. These are high scores. These scores are very, very high. For a player to perform 6 and above, it's just above average. Oh yes, for any player to perform 6 and above, that player has done extremely well. Joao Felix 7.81. Badiashile 7.89. Jackson is here because these are the top 4 players that perform for Chelsea on a day. Jackson scored 8.20. Oh my goodness. But the highest was the MVP. Yes, the most valuable player of the game. 9.2, which is Enzo Fernandez. Ladies and gentlemen. Now, in our next game against Aston Villa, this is the headache Enzo Maresca is going to be facing. He will now be contemplating, should I still continue with these 4? With these 3. Badiashile, Joao Felix and Enzo Fernandez, should I just continue with them? Because looking at the statistics, look, it will be difficult to drop any one of these 3. I know Jackson is a starter against Aston Villa, but the rest of the 3, what do you think? Let me hear from you in the comment section. Listen, it's a problem to have though, and it is a good problem. It is a problem to have, and it is a good problem. All the boys are fighting for their lives whenever they step on the pitch. Every Chelsea player is fighting for his life whenever he had the opportunity to step on the pitch. And it's good. It's a very healthy competition right now. Dear friends. Yeah, it is what it is. Now, you see, we played a very beautiful game against Leicester. Many will say, oh, but just Leicester. It is just Leicester. But I will tell you, this is not just about Leicester. It is about the growth of the team. Yes, it is about the growth of the team. How far the team has come under Enzo Maresca. As a matter of fact, dear friends, I always talk about Pochettino. Because many of you don't believe that if Poch was to be around this team by now, he'd have still made a difference. I believe so. And I'll tell you why. Quickly, before I go to that reason, I've learned from a lot of mistakes that I made last season, especially on my predictions regarding Postecoglou of Tottenham. Yes, when he first came. And Tottenham last season as a whole, and I made some wild claims. About Chelsea title challenge this season. Yeah. It was a wild claim I made. See Postecoglou coming in last season, I predicted that, well, I see Tottenham doing extremely well from that last season to this season. This season, I was hoping Pochettino will continue. Last season, I never expected Chelsea to win to win the league. But I was expecting them to be in the top 6. Now, one thing that I would say under this current manager, Enzo Maresca, Maresca's environment of football is much more sustainable. Enzo Maresca's environment of football is much sustainable than I ever expected. In a sense, the less intensity in his training, the style being less susceptible, the style of play being like susceptible to injuries. What word again will I use? The word susceptible is a bit because the training is not that intense. The players feel more relaxed during training, and therefore they are not prone. Yes, they are less prone to injuries, and also they have better depth. Chelsea have a better depth in squad compared to our opponents. In the long run, I do not envision much of a drop-off from this squad. I do not see Chelsea dropping the level of play that we are out of form. And because of that, our players are not performing. I do not envision that in a very long run. You see, the intensity is very manageable over a 38-game season. Especially with the players playing one game a week. Remember, we have A and B team. At this point, dear friend, Chelsea are probably the most well cut to disrupt Liverpool. Chelsea are the team that is ready right now that can disrupt Liverpool. What you need to get it very clearly here. You see, the caliber of players we have, even on the bench, are players that when they step on the pitch can still cause a havoc, can still make a difference. And so we are the only team right now that can create a big problem for Liverpool. Yes. Chelsea have played the most difficult teams or fixtures so far in this season. And we are playing attractive football as well. It is a matter of showing maturity onwards. Yeah. Now, it is your breakfast. Why was I telling you? Why am I saying that Pochettino should have been, should be given some credit? Dear friend, let's go back to Man City. It is your breakfast. Let me visit Man City briefly. Pep Guardiola speaking at the presser. There's a Conference League match today. Yes, Pep speaking at the presser. And he made a statement, a direct and emphatic statement about his squad. He said, just give me my players back, you will see. Just give me my players back and you will see. What does that mean? He said, it's difficult when you have to play without 4 central defenders, 2 holding midfielders. The best player in the world, Rodri, out. 3 wingers out. Just give me my players back. You will see Man City. These are statements from Pep Guardiola. Now, move on from Pep's situation. Go a step further and look at Chelsea and what Pochettino was able to achieve last season with 12 players on injury list by this time of last season. Last season, in November, we had 12 players on injury. We had players, even Wesley Fofana was injured. Romeo Lavia injured. Reece James injured. These are all first team players, starters, and many more. They were injured last season. Now, you see, is Pep Guardiola trying to say that he can't manage a squad with average players? So he's saying that he needs big money players to win every match. Well, let me remind you guys. Chelsea won the UEFA Champions League 2022 with our two starting center backs. Our two starting center backs leaving before the season started. And last year, while having, two ACLs, yes, last season under Pochettino, whilst we're having two ACLs and multiple other injuries, we still were able to sail through to, is it fifth or sixth position? Pep cannot adapt despite being given tons of money. Meanwhile, Carlo Ancelotti, Real Madrid, with Jude Bellingham as number 9, in the absence of proper striker, you saw what he did. Pep Guardiola, for Pep fans, well, in my own case, and thank God Pep is not the manager I really truly like. My coach is Jose Mourinho. My coach is Jose Mourinho. And ladies and gentlemen, that is why I brought you this picture on your screen. Jose Mourinho, even with Manchester United, you see all those players there on crutches, right? He still won the Europa League. That is what you can see right there on your screen. So, for me, the squad Chelsea have right now, this season, I am not hoping for a top four any longer. I am praying and I'm believing that we will challenge Liverpool for the title. Mark it here. It is your breakfast quickly. The last but not least before I let you go. Leicester City have opened talks with Ruud van Nistelrooy to succeed Steve Cooper as manager. It is not something that I wasn't expecting. Ruud van Nistelrooy is a manager right now that I expect that will not sit at home for long, because the 2 weeks that he managed Manchester United, I would say they even made a mistake. They could have just maintained Ruud van Nistelrooy to take the team to the end of the season. He already got a momentum with the squad. If it's Ruud van Nistelrooy, I don't think they would have played a drawn game with Ipswich. They would have won it. He got a momentum with the squad. Now a new coach coming in. You don't start building a new team at the middle of the season. No. If you listen to Amorim, he is beginning to call for time. Amorim is beginning to call for time. You don't start building a new squad at the beginning of the season. Against Ipswich, you saw the way he was sweating. Leicester have taken him. They are in talks right now to sign Ruud van Nistelrooy as a replacement for Steve Cooper. Even Leicester themselves, for them to sack Steve Cooper, when it's not as if they are already at the bottom of the league table. We wait to see, dear friends. Hey, it is your breakfast. I'll see you guys in the next one when you see me. Shalom and peace.